Dani has without a doubt the most successful game dev channel on YouTube. And while his devlogs get millions of views, mine for some reason get only a few thousands. If I'm lucky. Haters gonna say that his content is just much better. Seriously, Dani must have a dark secret. There's no other explanation. So I asked him if I'm allowed to reveal his secret and he didn't answer. I guess that's a yes. So let's go. To find out Dani's secret, I need to go to his origins. Where is he coming from? Who is he? And what is his super duper top secret world domination plan? So, I began my research by watching his first video, a devlog called Introduction. But I couldn't find anything. I watched this video 299,373 times. I watched it forward, watched it backward, time-lapse, frame by frame, and I was about to give up. But then it struck. Dani already existed before this video was uploaded. In fact, in the video The History of Dani, the man himself shows us his true origin story.
And then I set out on my journey to become the biggest YouTuber on the platform.
Oh, Dani, you should not have done this. Now, I will be able to reveal your dark past. So Dani's true origin is this Num Num operation. This video shows how he came to Earth to create the greatest game dev channel of all time. The first hint can be seen in second 4. Get a new face? What? Why does Dani need a new face? And after he got one, he does this. What is he trying to tell us? Is it just me? Or is this stick figure looking kinda Egyptian? And looking deeper into his origins, I found even more evidence. Looks quite similar, right? So I drew some lines.
These are some nice lines.
Wait, Egyptian dancing, stick figures, Dani, lines, a freaking pyramid? I got it. Dani is an old, ancient Egyptian. How is this possible? Ancient Egypt is over 3,000 years old and Dani doesn't look that elderly. The answer of this question can also be found in Dani's video about his past.
But whether I'm a gaming channel or a game developer, one thing's for sure, I'd still be a god. I'd still be a god.
So, Dani is an ancient Egyptian god. You might be skeptical, and believe me, I was too when I found out, but watch this video to the end and I will convince even the last skeptic of you.
So let's ask a question. If Dani really was an Egyptian god, what kind of god was he? I guess the answer should be pretty clear. The god of games. There are hundreds of Egypt deities for basically everything, like they even have a god for axes or a doorkeeper god. What? But there's no god for games. Weird, right? And it's not like the Egyptians didn't have games. They played games like Senet and Mayhem, but there is no evidence where these games came from.
Some god must have given it to them, and it's definitely not this god. Remember Dani saying,
Once again, it would seem like the world just wasn't ready for my genius.
I guess he refers back to the old days. He brought games to humanity, but they got forgotten and lost, and today no one knows how to play them anymore.
Sad story.
So if Dani really is an Egyptian god, there must be some old paintings of him getting worshipped, right? We found a ton of old paintings of all the well-known gods, but there's no god called Dani and no god that looks like him. Of course there isn't. This is not how Dani actually looks like. We know for a fact that he changed his face when he came to Earth, probably to look like a regular human. But that's no problem, there are plenty of pictures on how he really looks like. So I just needed to search for him in ancient Egypt paintings, and this is the only one I found after hours of research and even visiting Google page number 2. Now look at this painting. You can't tell me this is not what ancient Egyptians would have painted when they see this man. So who is this blue dude? It turns out his name is Hapi. Hapi? Dani? Seriously? I guess he needed to change his name to a more modern one to keep his past secret, but changing only 2 letters?
That's too easy, Dani. Too easy.
And if we look at the description of Dani's first video, it says, a physics-based game about silly stick figures. Let's rearrange the letters a little bit and we get, I am happy you silly figure-based sex. I don't know what Dani wants to tell us with the get part, but this proves that Dani told us he's happy right in the first video. I don't know how I previously missed that. But now that we know Dani's true identity, a new question arises. Who is Hapi? Let's take a look at the important Egyptian gods. As you can see, there's a bunch of different gods and more incest than in Game of Thrones. But there is no god called Hapi. So let's take a look at Wikipedia, and here we have it. Hapi was the god of the annual flooding of the Nile. I don't know about you guys, but if you're a god and your only job is to flood the Nile once a year, I would definitely play tons of game in the rest of my time. And I guess that's why Hapi started with game development, out of boredom. Even worse, the humans caused the end of the Nile floods in 1970. So I guess Hapi got unemployed and needed to search for an alternative way to get worship. And just 2 years later we got our first computer game. Coincidence? I don't think so. But influencing us from the outside wasn't enough for Hapi. So he came down, changed his face and changed his name to become the greatest game dev of them all. Dani.
Now let's look at his current life. Beside games, what is Dani's most favorite thing in this world?
Then I had a quick milk break and then had some delicious milk. So the first thing I'm going to need for the job. Oh, fuck! Drink your milk, kids.
And guess what? Milk was very important for the ancient Egyptians, and even more stunning, very important for their religion. Like, they even had a goddess for milk. As a matter of fact, I found scientific research on that topic. It states, milk is the source of life and is significant in the religious life of Egyptians. They not only drank it, they used milk for healing, they offered milk to the gods, and Cleopatra's secret for her beauty is well known. Taking baths in milk. No wonder that Dani is still obsessed with the white juice.
This sounds so wrong, I'm sorry.
There are even more clues to his past in his games. Just take a look at the first game he finished. It's all about
a square. No, seriously, that's it. A square.
Now imagine, you are an Egyptian god. You just flooded the Nile, casually flying above Egypt's capital and wait, what is this? These are some big ass squares over there, and those squares have been standing there for over 4,500 years. Seeing them every day for so long, no wonder Dani's first game is about squares. And I guess I don't need to tell you where his inspiration for the triangle came from.
Now we finally know Dani's secret. And I don't know about you guys, but I will definitely start praying to Hapi so he will bless my games.
This wasn't the only mystery in game dev YouTube. How is it so black in Brecky's video and now that they are gone? Did they disappear in the black void? How can Thin Matrix keep so many plants alive and make great games while I'm barely able to care for this little tree over here? Does Sam Hogan has a deal with the devil to get 8 million views on the Minecraft video? And will Use Nile ever be released?
Hit like if you want further investigation and write in the comments what I should look at next. And don't forget to subscribe to Dani since he's an immortal being after all.